right? Black Mirror is becoming real. All right. If if you don't know what Black Mirror is, you need to go to Netflix and check it out. It's to me, it's the new Twilight Zone. It's a Twilight Zone of the internet age. If you don't know what Twilight Zone is, then that's your problem. But Black Mirror basically is a philosophical show that offers a glimpse of what the future may look like based on what we have in technology today. All right. So there's this one episode, I forget which one it is, but there's this one episode wherein the concept is we can play back memories in our heads, because there's a chip in our brain that helps us do that. We can play back memories. All memories are recorded, and we can just go back to the past at will whenever we want to, so if you're bored, for instance, you have nothing to do, you're on your couch, or maybe uh already trying to sleep in your bed, and then you can't sleep, then you just access your mind, rewind what happened in the highlights of your life, and that may help you with your day. And I'm not talking about videos. I'm not talking about pictures. We're talking about full 360-degree experiences with all your five senses present in the footage. That's how you play it back. And of course, with that technology, you can actually also share that experience with other people. So it's kind of like a highway of empathy, is what it is. If you want me to share to you what I experienced, we no longer have to speak. I just have to give you the data, and you close your eyes, and then you actually play that part as myself, as me. So you literally get to get your feet inside my shoes, and vice versa with other people. So this is becoming reality at present time. Neuralink, the company that is owned by Mr. Elon Musk, who also owns SpaceX, Tesla Motors, used to own PayPal. You know who he is. He's the modern Tony Stark, is what it is. He's looked at by the world as the real Tony Stark because of the number of technologies that he is developing. So Neuralink is one of them, which right now is in its very early stage, because its purpose right now is to help people with spinal injury fully recover from being uh, paralyzed. Some people are paralyzed with their spinal injury, and the first objective again of Neuralink is to help these people recover 100%. They recover their motor functions. Basically, they're just putting the severed connections from the injury. They're putting it back so that your brain can communicate with your body again. They may not be literally putting it back, but they are giving you that ability once more. So how do they do that? They built a user interface on your inside your brain. All right, so there needs to be surgery for this. And then once you have that chip in your brain, it just floats alongside with your skull. So they replace a very small part of your skull with that chip, and the chip has very thin wires that goes in your brain and then sends the electrical signals of your brain to a server, to a computer. So what that might be, Elon Musk actually coded it as a Fitbit in your brain. So instead of your wrists like a watch, it's just a Fitbit in your brain. But it goes two ways, it reads your brain, and at some point in time, I'm sure that you'll be also be able to send information out of your brain to somebody else or to the internet. So very small step, baby steps, but Neuralink definitely will be on the same path as what we saw in Black Mirror. Elon Musk even said that himself, that the future will look weird But that's how it goes. I believe that once people started inventing fire, once they discovered fire through friction, technology no longer stopped. It just kept on developing, from fire to managing resources, burning coal, making it energy, experiencing the development of the atomic bomb, splitting atoms, developing code so that everybody can connect. It's pretty crazy. If you think about it right now, even this pandemic is developing our interaction. It used to be that when you're supposed to be meeting with anybody, a group of people or another person, there were two requirements, two coordinates, the when and the where, right? So you get that every time that somebody invites you for a special occasion, a marriage or a baptism of somebody, a birthday, right? When is it going to be? It's going to be August 30th at 2 p.m. Where is it going to be? It's going to be in this hall or in this restaurant. But now, if you think about that, with the internet and the pandemic working side by side, we can't get out physically, but we still have connection with each other through video. We begin to eliminate one of the two requirements, which is the where. It's no longer important that you are actually in at the same place with the person that you're meeting with or with the people that you're meeting with. What's more important now is the when. When do we do it? When do we conduct this meeting? So it turns out a lot more people have been present in meetings because of what's been going on. Um, and who knows what Neuralink will be changing, because Neuralink will hold information, and you will also have control of what you give to Neuralink with your five senses. So think about it like a game, right? Like right now, what does it take for you to publish a game? You need a team of people, you need coders, you need artists, you need voice actors if your game has, audio. You need a lot of people to develop this 360-degree simulation which people can buy and play with their controllers. Now, it's still limited to what? Your sense of hearing, your sense of seeing, and your sense of touch. Just three senses. Level that up to five senses, and you have the Neuralink. And given the fact that Neuralink is so high with its bandwidth that you will no longer need a team of people to create a simulation. You just need yourself and your creativity. So you're going to be the director, you're going to be the artist, you're going to be the composer of this simulation. And once you create that simulation, you can share it with anybody, and vice versa. So if you wanna experience a simulation created by others, then all you have to do is just access their Neuralink program, or they might give you access to it, and then you're there. And this really breaks what it means, of being inside of a reality versus being inside of a simulation. So it's becoming very much like the Matrix, that we wouldn't be able to tell what reality is, authentic reality versus what a simulation is, because both of these worlds now in the future will be taking a hold of our five senses. Our five senses is, the only five things that we use uh, to to communicate with this reality. If these five senses become all present in a channel that's so perfect with its bandwidth that it erases the line between simulation and reality, that's going to be something else. We're going to have different behavior. We might lose individualism. We might be just sharing experiences all the time, every day. It's going to be different. I'm not sure if it's going to be for the better or for the worse, but it's really going to be a changed world. One thing that I would like to get out of it is our focus should no longer be with consumption. Because right now, what are we focused on? We are focused in consuming. And I'm not just talking about as individuals, I'm talking about the community. This is all we agreed on. We worship money. We worship people with mansions. We worship fame. We like it when people flaunt how much they have on television. And if you think about whatever company you've worked for in the past or whatever company you're working for now, what do they measure? They measure profit. All of them measure profit. It's very rare that a company exists and refuses to measure profit. And they want to measure growth. So every year they have a target, they give it to you, and then you follow it, and in return they give you money so that you can consume stuff. The primary uh, the primary motivation of these companies is your benefit. And what is the benefit? It's consumption, right? Well, I shouldn't say the primary motivation of the company. It's the primary motivation of the whole economy. The economy works because you get money in return. The companies, it's they can spare anybody. Even the CEOs of a company are very replaceable. Employees are very replaceable. These companies are ideas. I think of it like big tornadoes, and they suck up people um, in their vision for, in return for currency for you to consume even more. So what I want Neuralink to do, hopefully in the future, is to defocus on consumption and refocus on compassion. I wonder what companies will look like with compassion as their focus instead of consumption. It's hard to think about now because we're very used to a monetary world. But with Neuralink, I hope we begin to find our purpose and our real happiness with compassion. Right? So, a lot more people. It's fairly easy for me to say this, but it might be a difficult experience to share because again, we are accustomed to consumption. Unboxing stuff makes us happy. When we see a new gadget and there's a date for the release of that new gadget, we're excited for it. It's a real emotion, but it's an emotion driven by consumption. So I hope that changes. I have no idea what the world will look like, but for sure people are going to be happier. There's going to be less denial about ourselves. We might be spending more time just talking to each other intimately, which is the real value of life, if you ask me. It's just the relationships that you're in. So hopefully it becomes that. If it doesn't, then maybe we need to be a little scary or a little scared of it, because if it goes to the wrong hands, the Neuralink technology, who knows what people can share, right? If they force to share a vision that is focused on ego and the idea of success as being on top of other people, if they continue to reinforce that and share it as we do today, then it's not going to be a better tomorrow. We're still going to be consuming more than we should be, and we're still going to have less compassion for each other. Hopefully, it doesn't become that way. But that's it. I appreciate you listening to my thoughts about Neuralink. Cheers to a brighter future.